Welcome to Women's Soccer Break presented by ISB. I'm your host, Sahil, here with Ishana. This, of course, is the channel where we go more in depth into women's football/soccer. We, of course, have our main channel, the ISB channel, International Soccer Break. This is our sister channel, Women's Soccer Break, for you women's football enthusiasts. And Ishana, right now, I'm sure all the eyes of those fans of women's football is on the Euros. And today we're going to do a deep dive into Group D, Ishana, Group D. And of course, that is termed the Group of Death.
Yeah. Funny that it's also Group D, which actually stands for death.
Let me show the standings before we get into it. Actually, we'll talk about everyone who's seen it probably knows already what happened today, but let's just get into it. Here's how the standings are after, of course, the matches today. France and England looking good. England wasn't looking good, Ishana, a few days ago, and now they're looking much better. And we'll talk about both of these matches. Lot to talk about, Ishana. Let's start with the England match.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it was nice to see England returning to what we were expecting from them, defending their title here. They came out a lot stronger. Their defense was a lot better, less unforced errors. On the other hand, I think Netherlands was a big disappointment, especially defensively. I mean, they just could not hold it together. Van Dunsler didn't have her best game either there in goal. It was just a big old mess.
Let's talk about that, because I think before we get into England, we have to talk about the Dutch defending was just so bad. I mean, it was really shocking compared to how this team played a few days ago. Literally, some of these balls were route one balls, which the English goalkeeper, that one goal, the English goalkeeper just kicks it. It's directly route one. All the defenders kind of stare at it. And that's how these all goals were. It seemed like the defenders were just ball watching all the time.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what was going on. Obviously, I think missing Daniel Van de Donk or missing her for the entire match maybe affects that with her, being able to track back, help out in defense. I don't know. I think we definitely expected more out of this game. I mean, it's called
Was it surprising? Yeah, was this surprising for you that England had such a easy time getting through this match?
It was surprising on one hand. On the other hand, I feel like this match was like the return, so to speak, of what we were expecting from England. And, Serena has, similar to Emma Hayes, she likes to more or less keep the same lineup and really work these players, basically. And, I mean, look, Lauren James' goal, for example, was awesome. Like, that is an unstoppable goal. I mean, left-footed, just beauty, an absolute beauty. There was work like that where that is just unstoppable. But yeah, I mean, I definitely did not expect them to put that many on the board. I didn't think they would just walk through.
I just felt the Dutch made it really easy for England. Like, even the goals you're talking about, yes, Lauren James, great finishes, but it was almost like the plays leading up to that, it was just really lackluster defending, where they almost presented England with the chances, and England was like, yeah, we'll take these chances if you present it to us like this.
Yeah, I agree. And then on the other side, there really wasn't much. I mean, like you said, England probably got tested a few times throughout the game, and that was it.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess from an English perspective, how much does this say about the team moving forward? Because of course they were one of the teams, not the favorite, but one of the favorites that were in the running. So does this say that, okay, we're back and they're kind of a team to be reckoned with?
I mean, I really think there's two things working for them. They have a lot of depth, as does Spain, of course, but they really do. And that is helpful. Secondly, yeah, I think it gave them a boost of confidence. And I think the fans are going to look to them, and they're coming off, their previous victory. I think that they might let it get to their heads a little bit in a positive way. Personally, I was happy to see them dominate in the sense of it just raises the competition in this tournament throughout. And that's really what I'm after. I want, obviously we don't have any skin in the game as US women's soccer fans. So I just want to get a really healthy, great competition. So yeah, I think seeing them play more together today made me hopeful that at least, moving forward, we can get some more competitive matches.
Yeah, and obviously the Dutch have a tough next match against France, and it's very interesting. Let's get to that match now. We want to take a little bit of Wales, France. And you know what, Ishana, Wales is the team that's ranked the lowest in this tournament, right? And they've always been a nation, both on the men's side and women's side, that always punches above their weight, right? And for those who just look at the score and didn't watch the match like we did,
Exactly.
you might see 4-1, which was the final score of the match, and you might think, okay, this was a match that was completely dominated by France as expected, but that was not the case, Ashana.
Yeah, this was for me a really difficult match to watch because the first half was up until that penalty call was pretty great. I mean, this is exactly how you play a team that is better than you. Okay. Anytime, I mean, I think the possession at that point was 80% to 30.
Yeah.
Obviously, Wales dominating less. As soon as you get the ball, you
80
capitalize.
20, you probably mean, right? With the
All right,
terms in
sorry,
there.
80, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta work on my math here.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But yeah, as soon as you get it, you got to counter. And that's exactly what they did. And, the first goal, it was scrappy, it was messy, and it went in. It was,
Yeah.
you know, it's unfortunate because I thought the first half was great. And then obviously that was just, it became a series of errors, starting with that unnecessary foul in the box, which in my
Yeah.
eyes was clearly a penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then moving forward, I mean, look, we got to talk about Middleton-Patel
Yes.
because people may not know, but in the Euro 2016, so this is historic for Wales, right?
Yeah.
Getting into this tournament, being ranked where they are, historic, no matter what.
Yes.
Now, we had a similar historic run for Wales in the Euro 2016 on the men's side.
Yes.
And both Middleton-Patel and a player on that squad named Neil Taylor are both Indian. Now, this is a big deal. We don't have a lot of South Asian presence in major tournaments, let alone in clubs. She plays for Man U. That's a big deal. And I was really, really excited for her to do well in this match. And she started off very strong, actually.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, the last two goals were single-handedly her fault, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
it was just a shame.
It was a shame because she played really well. And, this is someone who's been fighting to make a presence at Manchester United. She got loaned out and now she's back and she's trying to make a name for herself, right? And you can see the good part of it for Wales, right? Some of the saves that she made. But in those moments, it's so critical to not make mistakes like she did because that completely destroyed the game. Any kind of momentum that Wales may have had, even being down 2-1, you think, okay, she almost got to the penalty, by the way, like she almost saved the penalty. And after that, you're thinking second half, okay, like, is there going to be an opportunity for Wales? And to go and give up a goal like that, both of the goals, it's just such a waste. And it's very demoralizing for Wales as a whole.
Yeah, and they were very much in that game. I
Yeah.
mean, they were doing all the right things. And, like I said, they're outmatched in terms of technical quality. And that's it. Like I said, that's exactly how you play a team that is better than them. I think they strategized very well prior to that. And yeah, it's just unfortunate. I've brought this up before, but I think that one thing I'd like to see across the board with these players is, or with women's soccer in general, is just a little bit of an advancement in our goalkeeping programs. And one thing also is Wales also didn't start her in their game against Netherlands. That you go into the game and you think it's going to be a positive change, and we're like, oh, okay, great. But something like that, for example, like that shouldn't be the case. We should have a clear starting string in terms of keepers, and I think that would help just elevate the game in general. Obviously, Van Domselaar in the other game, we usually see great work from her. She had a very off day, but it makes a difference,
Yeah,
And
it doesn't. Yeah, it
I
does.
mean, people like goals. I get it. I, on the other hand, like competition.
Yeah, okay, and let's finish it off here with France. So now they get this game a little bit handed to them after what was a tough first half. How good is this French team? Now they're going to go against the Netherlands to try to win the group. Probably
Mhm.
try to avoid Germany based on the way things are going to play out. Is this France team for real, or are they just have benefited from one good performance and then a performance today that was a little bit sort of, you know, um, based on the opponent's mistakes?
I don't think this was their best game. I think they had a better showing against England, but I do think they're capable. I mean, they have the players. It just depends day of how they're doing. I think also defensively they maybe need a little bit of work, but I wouldn't say they're like I wouldn't be like, "Oh, watch out for them," in terms of the tournament as a whole, but on any given day in this tournament, they can definitely bring it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
they're to watch out for.
I agree. They need to clean up the defense a little bit because it seemed like Wales had every time Wales went forward in the few forays they did, there was some havoc that was caused. So that's something to keep in mind. All right. For those fans of the Euros, let us know your thoughts out there about both of these matches and about Group D as a whole. Who's going to win? Is England going to win it? Is France going to win it? Is Netherlands going to win it? Is Wales going to make the biggest miraculous win in the history of women's football against England and beat
Hey,
them by the
you
necessary
know,
goal difference to get through? I don't know about that, but we shall see.
maybe not, but, I do think they have a chance of Wales tends to play well against England. It's a healthy rivalry, so
Yes.
maybe we got something on our hands.
It's a healthy rivalry match. So for everyone out there, please subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos. And if you want to hear more about the Euros, we'll be covering the entire tournament. And then, of course, all other stuff from the world of women's football. So for everyone out there, keep watching women's football, keep watching the Euros, keep watching the beautiful game.